Hello everyone, it's me Krasimir Panayotov and we are back in the Rich Spirit channel. Everyone is welcome. So let's make another beautiful weekly analysis. I have prepared some of the most major pairs as usual, guys, and we'll check also some other interesting stuff like gold, like Bitcoin, oil. Let's do it. Now, this is the Euro USD, guys, and this is one of my favorite Forex pairs. So I usually start my analysis with it because it's the most major pair, and it's affecting all other currencies usually. I'm on the daily chart, and on the last video, guys, I have marked this beautiful flag pattern, which says that if the price breaks below the support, it will continue to the downside, and this is what happened. Well, I would be happier if we had some pullback here, or after the breakout if we started pulling back a little bit, but such pullback didn't happen. The price just rallied to the downside, and as you can see, guys, after the first 2 days of the week, with the massive move, we only had a small moves to the downside. So the selling pressure is losing power, and maybe this will attract buyers. In fact, the last candle on Friday closed with a doji-like style with a very small body. So if we observe some strong bullish candle on the next week, there is a potential opportunity for reversal. So what I'm expecting on this pair is or a push back to the previous resistance. Also there we have a trend line resistance, and it would be a beautiful move, or if not, is a continuation to the downside. So first we will test this very low right here. Maybe we will go a little bit below it, and only then, if we have a bullish signal closing above the support area, then maybe we can look for another bullish setups all the way up to the previous resistance. If not, if there is not enough support, if the economists are not buying the euro, then we will probably continue pushing to the downside, and this is something that happens. Now let's go to the weekly, guys, and I want to remind you of one important zone, and this is this exactly zone where the price stopped some long time ago. So it's a potential reversal zone, and from there maybe only we can get the pullback I was talking to you about. It's interesting what is happening for the euro, but after the sanctions against Russia, the euro and the European economy is not in the best place to be. So let's switch to the GBPUSD now and see what we have there on the weekly chart. I have marked this downtrend, few support and resistances, and we're going back to the daily chart. What is going on the daily? Again, pretty bearish week, but nothing so crazy like the last weeks. So what I am expecting for this pair, here are two scenarios. Of course, we're between two zones, and we have a mini support and resistance zones here. So my expectation is or a pullback to the previous resistance, or of course push to the next support. And this is a beautiful place to be, because there we will find some serious support from the zone and from this trend line. Usually such trend lines act as a good support. If we go bullish, like it's the most okay, fuck it, if we go bullish, then here we we're about to observe some resistance. Maybe the price will start making some long-term consolidation, and only from there we can have some breakout or something like this. For this week I will not trade this pair because it's not very attractive even on this level. Above all, I'm more bullish on both GBP and Euro dollar. So let's check some other pair. Let's see the Euro GBP like we are usually doing. So the price is back on the support level and we have a big engulfing candle on the Friday session. So if the next Monday we continue going up, there is a very high probability the price to continue rising and go back to its previous highs. So there is one interesting setup here that I have shown you. It is the head and shoulder pattern, but in this time we have rejected the pattern and it's pretty much it's pretty ugly pattern, guys, because here on the left you have big shoulder, on the right you have very small shoulder. It's not so obvious, it's not that perfect. So if it fails, if we go below this right shoulder, we can continue to the downside pretty easily, since we are in a bearish trend. Also this trending channel is interesting, you know, it's very easy to sell at the top and buy at the highest. This is what we usually do in the channels. I'll move now to some other pair. Let's check the USD JPY and then we'll check also the other JPY pairs. Okay, what do we have here? Okay, the daily chart and the weekly. As you can see on the weekly chart, we have reached important resistance zone. And this week we have retested the zone. Still it's early, so I believe a little bit more consolidation around the zone and then the price will take a decision or to continue bullish with the trend or to reject and make a correction probably to this previous support area. On the other pairs, GBPJPY, what we have, let's go to the weekly. Okay, on the weekly, we also have reached important weekly resistance area. We have also made a retest this week. And for now, guys, the things are looking pretty bearish, pretty bullish, bullish, very bullish looking to me, since we have rejected, but we're now testing again the trend. It can crack, and next week we can observe a move to the upside, and that would be beautiful. Let's check now the Euro JPY and what we have here. Okay, here we're a little bit more far away from the zone, as you can see, but on the 4-hour and on the daily we have a beautiful flag-like pattern, which usually is a continuational pattern. So what I personally expect on this pair, of course, if we go bullish, we will try getting back on these highs. If we go bearish, we'll probably go to this support area, and that's pretty obvious. There is the 38% retracement of the Fibonacci, so it's a good zone for the buyers. But of course we can drop much lower on this pair and we can go to the 76 or never mind, guys, that's on the next video. I'll go now check gold, guys, and let's finish with these Forex pairs, because I usually trade mostly gold and this is what have been the most profitable pair for me for this year. So let's check it out. Now this is the daily chart, again I have marked few support and resistance levels, and if we go to the 4-hour chart, I'll show you something interesting which I have marked on my YouTube on my Facebook profile. So here we had something like a triangle pattern on the 4-hour. On the daily it looks like this. So if we have respected the pattern and if we have pulled back to this support area, there we only needed a breakout or below the structure, here is the triangle, the structure, or above the triangle to take the next trade. But since we're in this situation and we are breaking bullish on gold, I told you that I remain more bullish on this pair. So I expect again test of this resistance area, and if we break it, of course comes the time for the 2000 zone area. And this is an interesting setup, guys, because this pair have consolidated for more than 2-3 weeks and it's time to break somewhere. And if it's bullish, it's a beautiful zone here, and we can of course start chasing the higher targets, maybe break the ultimate high on gold and continue even more bullish. That would be interesting to observe. If not, if we start going bearish from here, there are two interesting levels to pay attention to. These two levels right here and this one also, especially this one. Here is a lot of liquidity, a lot of new money will come to the market, so it will be interesting to watch this pair. Let's check also something else. What should it be? What do we have here? Okay, this chart is not too interesting for me. Let's check really something special, and I will change to the other broker so you can see. Okay guys, this is the Bitcoin chart and I'm on the daily chart, and I wanted to show you this exact consolidation right here, which we have broke recently. So it's very interesting that we are now correcting, but also we have interesting level of support here, which I think if it gets respected, then we can move seriously strong to the upside. Because usually when such a big consolidations like this one here, you see we have almost a triple bottom. After the breakout they usually continue to the upside. Well, if this is a fake breakout, then we will see of course a strong bearish move. Let me show you to the downside. But before that we still have a chance for the bulls to enter and to reverse the market. And I was honestly more bullish on this pair, but since watching this, I'll show you one more pattern that can be completed and can explain everything. And this is the flag pattern, the one which we discussed on EURUSD. So let's draw it now. As you can see, the channel is pretty obvious, and we can actually trade this pattern. So in this case, if we go bullish, then we have a huge move to the upside. If we break the pattern bearish, then we can see some strong move to the downside, and that's a beautiful thing. Now let's go to the weekly chart and show you some interesting resistance to the downside, which I think that may be tested once again. Very strong, interesting resistance. Here is where the big traders came in last year and shoot the price to the upside. Or maybe 2 years ago, I didn't trade the Bitcoin back then. For now, the price is still in a consolidation, so we are waiting for the big breakout. Okay, now guys, I will change the chart to, let's say, oil. Let this be crude oil. Okay guys, we're on the crude oil and this is the daily chart. So I see interesting pattern forming here. Of course we have to draw our support area right here, and if the price respects this area, we at least should have a little move to the upside. Maybe even bigger to these previous highs. Okay, that would be our next support and resistances. Maybe a little even lower, that's no problem. Okay, and another one right here, the ultimate high for this chart. That's cool. Now, how I will trade this pattern? Well, I will actually not hurry up with the trading. Of course, here is a very attractive zone because you can just set a very small stop loss and expect a pretty good return to the upside. But I will tell you what exactly happened like 1 year ago when I have observed such a pattern. Okay, here it is. You can see guys that it is pretty much the same pattern, the M pattern. Again, we have a support right here, just like in our chart. Okay, you see the previous highs here act as a support for the price. And what we have had back then. Okay, here we had a little bounce to the upside, but then the price said no. The big banks will take all the stop losses which were set here below the support. Then they will buy cheap after the liquidity came, and of course the big move on the with the next huge move. So be careful of such a trap, guys, such traps, because this eats your money pretty nicely. So in this case where there is such a brutal liquidity, right? No, volatility, I stay away. I try to stay away from the market because it's too risky to play. Okay guys, that's all from me for today's video. I wish you successful trading, to follow your plan, to keep your risk management, and to get to the new level. Okay guys, peace.